Well, hello there, beautifuls. It's been a while since I've been on here, and that's going to be part of my sharing here, my story, because I want to talk about an entirely different way of operating in life than most coaches teach you, especially when it comes to running a successful business, where it's all about like structures and consistency and following through, even if you don't feel like it. And I want to share with you my perspective on this. And I'm going to share this with you by talking about my last few weeks and what's been going on, because I have not shared on here for the last 2 weeks, or barely. Whereas before, I was on a roll. I was creating a reel a day on Instagram. I gave myself this challenge, and I had a super intense June with the Embodied Business Leadership Summit, with speaking on stage in Germany at the biggest men's conference, 300 men, which was a really, really powerful, really intense time. And then in June, I had a time of integration, a time of just digesting this next level and having a more inwards pull. And I know that in the past, I would have felt really challenged by this movement, because on the outside, it's less productive. On the outside, I was doing less, I was showing up less. And yet I can feel how this time of digestion, where, I just did things like going to the sauna, resting, doing less, eating well, spending time with good people. There is an immense power when we are able to do that, when that is what's being called for. And I know that in the old paradigm, so in old ways of operating, we would fight this state. We would be like, I'm not productive. I'm not moving my business forward. Nothing is happening. I have to push myself out of there. I have to be more consistent. And I don't think that that's the effective path. Now, the challenge is to be really precise in every moment, actually. Because I know for myself from the past, I could be in like a state of, I'm so exhausted and I just need rest and everything is too much. That would just be a protective layer. That would just be like a story I would tell myself to avoid taking uncomfortable steps that were called for. I also know the pattern of like, I have to push myself. I have to do things even though I really don't feel like doing them, and I have to use force, which we will always pay a price for that. Like, I can do that. Anyone can do that. But it does have consequences. And so what to me is operating from, I call it the new paradigm. You can call it whatever you want. You can also say like operating from a different kind of consciousness. The practice there is to listen deeply to what's truly called for, and then to just trust that and follow it. And if what's called for is rest and integration, then that's what I will do. And I will not force myself to get out of there. And if what's being called for is creating a reel a day and speaking on stage and creating a summit, then that's what's being called for. But none of those things is better or worse than the other. And when you can really allow yourself to live from this place, life becomes a lot simpler, because we don't have to control it. We don't have to try to predict it. because you understand that you create in every single moment, whether there's a lot of action going on the outside and you're really creating and producing or not. Everything is creation. There's nothing outside of creation. So it may look like there's not much happening on the outside, but that does not mean that you're not creating. And I believe that really allowing ourselves these times of going inward without also turning it into a big story of like, oh, I'm integrating deep things and this is going to take weeks. Again, this is prediction. This is like, oh, I'm turning this into a story. No, I stay close to the present moment, intimately close, infinitely close to what is now, and it can change in any moment. But the true creation is the ability to listen and then to just do that, and trusting that's all there is to do. And so what we need to practice here is to discern between protective mechanisms. You can call it ego, you can call it trauma, you can call it resistance. Anything that is trying to distract you from following what's being called of you, what's being asked of you. And we all have our patterns. For some, it's like overworking. Like, oh, I'm stressed and now I have to like double down and do 3 times as much work as I already did because I'm stressed. And for others, it's like, oh, I just need to lay in bed and do nothing because everything is too much, or a mix. So I have to be really brutally honest with myself. And to me, it has so much to do with trust. Can I trust that if I truly listen and follow the guidance that comes through, that's what will get me the results that I desire? Because yeah, we can all come up with super sophisticated strategies, and everyone has access to an infinite amount of knowledge and know-how in a second. But it's never action alone that will get me the results. It's action that comes from true, deep inspiration. And so that means I have to be willing to do absolutely nothing if there's no clear impulse, and then to take action fast when something is there. And to also let go of this really separated perspective on life. Like, oh, my business needs to grow, so I need to like work on my business now. That's the only way my business can grow. To be like, well, what are the impulses that actually come? Like for me right now, the biggest impulse was I want to make my room more beautiful. And I know very clearly, very deep down, this is so deeply going to affect my business. And I'm really excited about it. In the past, it would have been like, oh, fuck, but who cares about my room? Like, my business has to grow. But if everything that I do creates and every area of my life is interconnected, then this separation of my life into different boxes just doesn't make sense. And so this also requires you to take action fast, to implement fast. So it's like, I'm willing to slow down and listen. And if no clear step or inspiration is there, then I just chill, I just rest. But when an inspiration comes, I implement fast. And the more that we do that, the more inspiration we will receive, because we're basically communicating to life, to God, to source, I'm receptive. I'm willing to implement, even if it feels edgy or uncomfortable. So then more will come. But if I'm so busy doing things that are not actually aligned, but that my mind is telling me I should be doing because that's what apparently needs to get done to get results, well, then it's going to be hard to receive those impulses or to implement them. And we cannot control the impulses that are there. Like, oh, I want to make my room more beautiful. Okay. Or I've been asked many times how I've made my websites look so beautiful. So now I've created a workshop on how to build beautiful websites that feel like you with AI. I didn't control that. I didn't think that up. It's like I was being asked to create that. So it's this place of, I'm not in control what the next thing will be. I am in control of whether I'm willing to follow the impulses that come. I'm in control of my inner state, no matter what is going on the outside, whether there's a lot going on or nothing going on. I'm in control of whether I meet the things that arise in me, the layers that I'm letting go of with love and clarity or not. So many things we are in control of, but how the path exactly looks like and how it unfolds, nope. And yes, there are people who have success in just doing the same thing over and over and over without tuning in and listening. Oh, does that feel aligned or not? But just as kind of like, okay, mentally being like, if I just repeat this thing over and over, I will get results. And yeah, people can get results like this, but they're probably not going to be very happy because they're not living from their soul. They're not actually tuned in and really listening. And the biggest moments of doubt are just before you are being called into the next level. Just before you are granted access to another layer of your consciousness. That's when the fear and the resistance and the doubts will kick in the most. And how we can meet that and how clear and dedicated we can stay in those moments decides how fast we get to access that new level. And so that's why when people work with me, I don't give anyone a 6-month plan of what they're supposed to do in their business because I think that's absolutely bonkers. We can have a rough idea. It's not like, oh, every moment I just randomly decide what's going to happen next. No, like we can think strategically ahead. But I always, always, always have to be willing to change direction, to change course based on the information that is coming in. Because if I don't, then I'm just blindly following a concept. I'm saying like this strategy that I've been given by someone else has more authority than me, than my truth. And then even if you get some sort of results, it's going to be at the expense of your deep connection to yourself. And I know you don't want that. So especially in those moments where you're being asked to do something that you feel like, I don't really understand, like, why am I supposed to do this right now? I don't see how this is going to get me the results that I want to have. That's where the surrender and the trust really matters. And that's where a lot of people around you will probably doubt you or make it harder for you to actually do that, because when most people live in a paradigm of No, like you have to control and you have to predict and you have to do the logical things that will get you the results. And then you actually start following a deeper truth that is not predictable because it's non-linear and it follows a greater intelligence that our rational mind cannot comprehend. Only in retrospect we can be like, oh, now everything makes sense. But as you walk forwards, it will not make sense. So this is where community becomes super important and mentorship becomes super important. Because yeah, this is raw. This will bring up all sorts of things. And I know that the people who resonate most with my work, you are leaders. You are meant to go first. You are a space where other people remember that they can live in an entirely different way than they thought they could. And there's nothing wrong with feeling doubtful. Just a matter of how do I relate to those doubts. How deeply can I open my heart and meet this moment exactly as it is, knowing, trusting that everything that is here, even the things that I don't like, are the energy that I can use to build what I actually do desire. It's just like nothing is ever in the way. It's the clay that I can use to actually build what I want to build, but only if I'm willing to fully accept it as it is. And acceptance does not mean giving up, is the opposite. It's more like life is fully on my side. Nothing is wrong in this present moment. And from that place, I can create very powerfully. And creating powerfully can mean taking a lot of action, or it can be doing nothing. Both of those can create powerfully if it's coming from a place of truth. That's what I felt like sharing with you today. If you want to dive deeper into my work, a couple of things that are coming up. 10 days from now, we have the Build Beautiful Websites with AI workshop. Again, this happened by request. I did not plan for this to happen. But for many years in my path of being an entrepreneur, people told me like, I love your work, but your websites look like shit. To getting so much props for the websites that I have, and then people asking me how I do it, I was like, all right, I'll show you. I will show you. So if you're interested in that, you can just drop the word website below and I'll send you the link. We have the Overflow Leader starting in less than a week. The Overflow Leader is one of the 4 programs that are part of my Embodied Business Leadership Program, my year-long business mentorship for growing your business in the most soul-aligned way. The Overflow Leader is all about how to operate from the place inside of you that is able to give from the depth of your heart and at the same time to fully receive what is yours. So this is crashing any sort of old narrative of wanting too much, being too much, of overworking yourself, of overgiving in a way that is not sustainable, and really stabilizing in that place inside of you where your greatest generosity goes hand in hand with you fully claiming your self-worth and you being ready to receive and to take what is yours. So that's the Overflow Leader. If you want the details to that, you can send me a message. The price is 1,111 euros. It's an 8-week program. And if you want to join the full Embodied Business Leadership program, this is 4 of those programs put together over a year-long journey. You can join anytime, and then you get instantly access to any programs that already ran. Plus, you get to join each of the 4 programs live the next time they happen. And so in a week, we're starting with the Overflow Leader. And if all of those things sound nice, but you're like, I just want to work with you one-on-one, David, then drop me a message. I am going to be opening probably 2 more spots for people who want to work with me one-on-one. I actually recently decided that I'm going to have my one-on-one space as a separate thing from the Embodied Business Leadership program, because I noticed that the people that work with me one-on-one, they have a successfully running business. They have clients, they have a lot going on. And what we're working on there is refinement, is actually finding strategic ways to work less and to be more effective, to create better offers that serve more people at once, to really let go of charging hourly for the work that you do. And I just feel very clearly it's a different container than Embodied Business Leadership. If you work with me one-on-one, anything else that that is part of my world, you have full access to. But yeah, one-on-one is where I get to personalize how I can support you. So this is the most direct access you can get to me. If that interests you, you can send me a message and we'll figure a nice way out to work together. If you enjoyed this, do give it a heart. Share a fun GIF in the comments. And I wish you the most beautiful of evenings. Sending you so much love.